On you guys, I hope all is well. If you guys watch my channel, you guys know I kind of stick to some basic fundamental exercises. I do kind of do some other unique things as well. In fact, a future video I will show you guys some new exercises that I do like, but this video is going to be all about exercises that I pretty much avoid or just don't recommend to most people, and these are some staple total gym exercises. In fact, what I'm going to be doing for this video is kind of showing you guys basically exercises from the Total Gym sliding deck. They have a number of exercises you might even see in their infomercials that aren't on here, but I basically, what I did was I selected exercises or went through here and took out some ones that I thought I just either myself would never do or I wouldn't recommend. And granted, there's some in here that kind of surprised me a little bit that I haven't tried or I wouldn't think I liked, and I actually did kind of like them. So that's what I'll talk about in this video. Please like and or subscribe if you guys like this content. So let's get going into it. First thing though, is if you guys don't have this, you know what I'm talking about, this sliding deck is actually kind of cool. It has like a color-coded like number system where you can actually pick certain workouts and create a workout based on this number color coding system. Pretty cool thing with the way they kind of designed that, and also it kind of fits on top of the Total Gym. I will say the majority of these exercises, even after kind of sitting through going through them, about 90+% of this I'd say is all stuff I like and I would do. But I went ahead and again and selected the ones that I don't like. And one thing I will not cover in this video, which is a whole selection of exercises, is the these like kind of these middle cable Pilates type exercises. I know some people like this. I might make a whole separate video on this. I personally just don't think they feel that comfortable, at least to me. I think for stretching purposes, maybe they might feel pretty good, but point is I'm not going to be going over these, but this is a whole segment of exercises I just don't even really touch, to be honest with you. And this isn't to say that this is like my pure dogma. Just because I'm saying this, you guys shouldn't do it and have my same opinion. I'm just kind of expressing the fact that there's other things that I personally would recommend and do for the limited time I have on the machine. So the very first exercise we'll get into is basically going to be this lying hamstring curl. You guys know I love the face down ankle attachment version leg curl with the cables. That feels awesome. Great way to isolate the hamstrings. So I can understand if you can't get into that position, this might be your only alternative to isolate your hamstrings. This is a way of isolating it in a closed chain way where you're essentially, the legs are fixed against the apparatus and you're literally pulling yourself up. I just think it's kind of cumbersome a little bit. It doesn't feel that good to me. It's just something, if I was, instead of isolating the hamstrings, I'd just probably just incorporate them in a multi-joint exercise if I couldn't do the other version. And a lot of times I am doing multi-joint leg exercises anyways. I just personally just don't like the way this kind of feels as much. The next one is another leg exercise. I know a lot of people do and like just this leg abduction exercise. This feels better if you have shoes on. Personally, I just think, again, leg abduction exercises are just not as beneficial as just doing an incorporated multi-joint exercise and working those muscles that way. With the calf raises, these standard calf raises, I don't think they don't work as good. I made a whole video on this. A better way to do calf raises with the Pilates bar and the weight bar with resistance band attachment, if you guys want to check that out. This is one that kind of surprised me. It's this kind of like it's a crunch with a like a pullover oblique twist. So it works your lats, but it's meant to be like an oblique ab exercise. It was okay the more you do it, but I found it, you know, it was kind of different. It's not something I would do. This is another kind of in similar vein, another like basically a weighted crunch. It's almost like a pullover with your lats and then a little crunch at the end. And sometimes they'll do this little like kind of like bobbing thing. You see that in the Total Gym videos. Again, okay. I just think, you know, it's maybe you get more out of it the more you do. I will say that. These kind of isolated elbow extensions, I think definitely just don't feel comfortable. They don't feel good. Again, granted, if you are limited in some of the tricep exercises you can do based on, you know, your weight or height or age, whatever, this might be your only alternative. Same thing with this isolated arm exercise. I just feel like the other versions I show you guys in the channel, just a couple regular double arm exercises feel a lot better than these. So these are things I just don't touch. I don't get a whole lot out of them, to be honest. This is one that's someone asked us in a previous video a couple months ago, making a whole video talking about forearm exercises, and I will get around to doing that. I honestly don't personally train forearms that much. I will do like gripper exercises once in a while, but I was surprised though. This actually does feel pretty good to isolate the forearms, and this is one of those exercises, like I said, with all these that you can find in this training deck. So pleasantly surprised. I would never have tried this unless I was doing this video. If you guys want an isolated forearm exercise, this feels really good. There's probably definitely some other options you could do as well. So maybe I'll make a future video on that. After this, we're gonna be transitioning into these kind of more, again, kind of the same way we did single arm arms. These are like some single arm different versions of doing like shoulders. I would personally, again, not do this exercise. I would do a rear delt fly or sitting facing the machine, cross the grip and do it this way. I don't like this the way it feels, but again, if you're older, if you're limited in some range of motion, the ways you can set up the machine, that might be your only option. Same thing here, upright rows in general, just like a lot of number of exercises, I just don't find them that effective as far as working your delts and upper and posterior delts as well. I just feel like it kind of feels like more of a shoulder impingement. And I always find people that do them, people a lot of times tell me it just feels uncomfortable if they do them because they feel like they just should do them. So this is, to me, again, I just avoid them. I don't like doing them. That's maybe more personal preference. This is one bonus I threw in here. It was not in the sliding deck, but decline presses. People have talked about this. I don't really get, I never do these. I don't get much out of these at all. And then kind of, again, another kind of similar exercise here, single arm exercise, sitting sideline in the machine, a chest fly. Again, I can see where you might be limited on a regular chest fly and you have to do this, but this is one I just don't get really anything out of it. Again, I can understand, I keep saying this, but if you're limited on what you can do, this is something's better than nothing, but I would probably just stick to a regular modified press if you couldn't do a regular fly. That's it, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.